Sorry about that, I disconnected. Just looked over and the stream was completely down, so I apologize. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I even pay for the faster internet, so. I even got it all set up with the right ports and hardwired to the modem and all that stuff. I even contacted support on Streamlabs one day and had them walk me through like the best possible way to have it set up, and I still disconnect. So some days just seem better than others with the internet thing. Sucks when you have a stream flowing, you know, and then it happens because some people just won't come back. But ultimately, just here to record the journey, one little session at a time. I don't even remember what I was saying before it disconnected. I had to kind of restart everything. Sorry about that. Had like 15 people watching too. That's where it always happens when a lot of people are watching. There's no way that's what's causing it, right? Go on the Discord. We are back live. Sorry, I disconnected again and had to restart. I also think my computer gets mad with running 3 cameras in HD and also screen recording and streaming. So there you go, press record. Seem to be good. Oh yeah, not to mention I'm playing music in the background, which is also streaming. Sharing a lot of bandwidth there, but that's why I bought the better internet, to hopefully handle that. That's right, I was mixing the color. Oh, reminds me, I was thinking of something. Hopefully I can show you a little trick here. Because I want to like get a gradient if I can from dark to light on my ruins here. Well, actually, it goes much darker. Hey, anyone jumping back in just again? Sorry, I disconnected. It feels random at this point. Like, I have everything set up as good as I can, but just kicks out sometimes. And it's weird. It's like Streamlabs will like try to reconnect it again for you, but then it just like it gets in this weird feedback loop and doesn't like actually fix the problem. I find I have to like shut it all down and come back to it. So I'll try the trick anyway. I haven't tried it in this small of a way, so I think it'll be fun discovery for me too. So it's a good trick for clouds as well. This is pertaining to watercolor. So now that this color here is completely dry, and this is something that's it's time sensitive. So once you start the process, you have to know what you're gonna do next and keep it moving. So we take some clean water. And so this is all in shadow. for the most part, and then right when it gets here, it kind of blends out of shadow into the glow of the mushroom. And we want to avoid this tentacle too, which will be a good representation, if I don't mess up, of how hydrophobic the dry spots can be. So I'm just getting just pure clean water. And actually, I want to really make sure I have my dark color I want to use here first. The disconnection is so distracting, I don't remember I was mixing. Nothing like that pure wet watercolor right out of the tube. I want it to be a sandy color, predominantly yellow, so that this turns to green. Again, sorry for the disconnection. Let's hope we stay stable. So now that I have that color, start there. Now back to the pure water thing. So the spot that you want the gradient to happen, you paint water. And then you paint into that water right to the edge of it, and it sort of will suck the paint into it and make a gradient. And however large you want the gradient to be is how big of the area of water you make. And the tricky part is it has to be just the right amount of wet or it doesn't work. And I have one take at this, because this is a little bit more of a tricky one where it's not just, it's nice for clouds where you just start on white paper, but I have one chance with this one because I'm working over a color that dried already and I don't want to overwork it, reactivate it. So take the water, I want to decide where do I want it to fade back out to light, and it's basically just right here. Behind this dwarven centurion, right here, and right here, and then we quickly get our dark color. And paint into that. Without pushing into it. Just let it take the water. And I didn't get enough pigment here. Try to do it in a precise movement. Go up to this one here. I'm sorry, not a precise movement, a single movement. And you can see right here how it created that nice gradient into that wet spot. Takes a little bit of planning, but in sections. And I think my favorite part about that trick is how you can repeat it in areas. It doesn't have to be with a whole wash. Which you can, it depends on the subject, obviously, but. That's kind of it. You just gotta kind of let it chill. Same with this side. So, clean my brush. This color isn't quite there yet. Something like that. Get some clean water. And one line of the water here. Got a little bit too much on my brush. And another little line of the water here. And here. Get my dark color. Try to have that area. Water didn't quite grab it. Here, let's try here. Let the water grab that. Carry it through a little bit in this bushy plant. Same thing here. Clean my brush. Get a little water. Put it right there. Clean brush again, get the dark color. Draw into that water. Make it a little rounder. And I didn't nail it in every spot, but it happened enough. And right here where I didn't use enough water, you can come back and just soften up that edge a little bit. Darker mixture of this. Dull it out with some red. Add a bit of yellow. And I kind of want this to be an overall wash of this part here. Add some water so it's not too dark. Actually, little thought to pre-plan ahead. The water trick. just a little here. It's time sensitive, remember. So I have my water there and I gotta quickly come get color I wanted to wash with. Wash into that puddle I just made. And that time I actually got it nicely. See that nice fade there? And then the rest does not have a wash on it yet. Just want that to be a darker object, because that's actually set back. And the roof of this thing is very clear edge to me. Would call this an important edge. Take your time with it. Just wanted to like take that towards a notch of darkness. And but still keep some of the information there. Can just barely see the pencil lines, and you'll see them more once it dries. It'll dry later, but basically just kind of keeping the back of that tower there, but bringing this forward. It's a dance. There's a lot of different value challenges here. Hey Steph, good to see you back. We crashed, disconnected. Was hit with the random disconnection, unfortunately. And if you mess up that trick and the wash doesn't come out how you wanted it to, it's all good. Just let it dry, let it do its thing. It's easy to keep overworking it with the watercolor. It's kind of like when you're doing joint compound on drywall. Just gotta leave it be. There's a sweet spot. There's a point where it only works so much. Then you gotta just wait until it dries and try again. It's looking so great. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. I'm gonna recall some of this really dark color I made over here earlier. And just really go for it. Use ultramarine at this point. It's the darkest blue, just to help it get a little darker. Top's a little black. Take a little of the water out of my brush. And I want to push this a lot more. This is where the glow of this mushroom can really shine over this point of contrast, I'll call it. I'm always looking for ways to purposely bring out contrast. And you know, it's a little bit hard edged right now, and I can come back later and feather it. But I like to think of it as, in a photo study, it's like I'm bringing it into a version of Photoshop in my brain and just turning the knobs. about how black that is. I'm gonna bring out the finer round here. Just to hopefully get this particular shape. Between where these two stems cross. Stop and start my recording again. I didn't do that once last stream, even though it was only 24 minutes. Try to remember. I'm gonna refine the edge of this a little bit. Let's say it gets cut off here instead. Watercolor can, it almost feels, it can feel like a paint by number sometimes. But it's like a paint by number with your own rules where you're making up all the spots. And that's a mushroom tentacle thing. Working on the edge of this plant a little bit. Every painting's an adventure. Trying to figure it out. Veronica, how you been? Haven't seen you here in a minute. Another Skyrim playthrough sounds great right now. Man, me and my girlfriend just started new characters too. I've been playing through that game for like 12 years and it's still fucking fun. So glad to hear it. I've been good too. Life is good, I can't complain. I'm always wishing I could do a little more art, have a little more time for it, you know, but I feel like I'm on a semi-nice routine. I like the streaming schedule right now, at least some time for me to draw on my own as well as take care of my life work. But then also stay consistent, so. We're streaming Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays right now. Around 5 to 7 p.m. It is an amazing game, I agree. He already crashed once today on stream. I had to reconnect, so I apologize if that happens again. So if you know Skyrim then, Veronica, then you know what Blackreach is, because it's the main quest. Makes you go there. So we're doing, we actually, on the first stream of starting this painting, we actually played Skyrim, and we walked to Blackreach. And I walked around in Blackreach, and I got several screenshots from my own perspective. I was looking some up on Google and I couldn't quite find like a screenshot someone took that was the angle I wanted, so. I remember the first time I hit Blackreach, I was in awe. Yeah, oh my god. It's like, I felt that with you. It's like daunting, right? It's such a big cavern, you have to, like, Blackreach always takes like 3 hours of my life away. Because I'm such a fanatic about opening every chest in that game, exploring like every corner. Like the way they make that room, it's like it takes like a while to walk from one side to the other of the cave. It makes you feel like you're missing shit, you know? That's so good. I'm so glad. This painting means so much more to Veronica. Because she knows the pain and excitement of Blackreach. And the thing is, there's so many parts in Blackreach. I picked a more inconspicuous area. I was trying to keep it simple, but alright, so let me keep nerding out with you here for a second, Veronica. we added a dwarven sphere. He's right here sketched out. I have him penciled in. So the dwarven sphere here was also a dwarven ballista on top of this tower. And then this right here is going to be a crimson nern root. So I'm trying to throw in the, like, you know, the archetypes of Skyrim. I feel like I play newer story games and they don't have hidden stuff. I spend so much time checking every corner for no reason. Yeah, exactly. I'll drive myself nuts. I'll like check the same chest just in case. If there aren't hidden stuff, I get sad. I know, it's so tragic, huh? I hate when that happens too. I mean, you know, like, there's a good balance between finding something and not. Because then when you finally do, it's like glorious, right? Okay, now I'm gonna try to find the color for the dirt in between these rocks here. And to me, it's a bit more sandy. And when I say sandy, I mean more yellow. I'm gonna go back to my short round. Oops, and then drop it in the water completely. I've been obsessed with Path of the Exile right now. Talk about always getting a lot of loot. That game just piles of loot. Palette cam. Just fixing the palette cam. There we go. I haven't tried that, my friend's really into it. It is a wormhole, let me tell you. And I've been playing it for like 6 years, and it's one of those games that just keeps going. The end game, isn't it? The end game in PoE is so good that, like, when you finish the main quest, it's like the game just opens up to a whole nother game. And I think the coolest part about Path, like, there's so many things to it, but the coolest part about Path of the Exile is how many different types of character builds you can do. I think that's the most badass thing about that game. And like the way you can customize your spells is just so freaking cool. Basically the way it works is you have this gear and there's like gem slots on the gear. And basically, so like one gem is a spell, okay? Or like a spell modifier. And so let's say, like, let's just keep it simple, like say it's like, okay, I want to use like fireball. Like, I just want to shoot fireballs. It's like, okay. And your gem, your gear can go up to having 6 slots on a single piece of gear. So picture like you can have a chest piece with 6 empty gem slots, which you can fill with 6 different spell things. And so you have the first gem filled with like fireball, right? And then you can get another thing that says like multiple projectiles, and you can add that to fireball, so now that you shoot like 4 fireballs. And then you can add like another effect on the fireball. It's like make the fireball blow up when it hits the area and shoot 3 more fireballs. And it just like it just gets crazier from there. And then you can find like crazy gear that like changes that too. It's so deep with the spells. I think that's why I'm so hooked. Like, to me, for some people it's not a good thing when something's more complicated, but to me it's like a huge turn on when a game is like has a lot of systems and it's like really complicated. Complicated isn't the right word, because like once you get it, it's like easy, right? I think it's just like sophisticated would be the right word. But yeah, it's a great game. It's a great game. They're coming out with the Path of Exile 2. It's like, oh god. Sometimes I just hang out on the palette like this for this long, believe it or not, trying to find the color I'm looking for. It's honestly gonna be more green. Pull screenshots like a bunch of green grays. And do that, get some variation. See how it looks. Maybe one more hair of yellow right there. Touch of red. Touch of yellow. Yeah, super fun to learn. Well, I'm so glad you stopped by. After my like little bit of a stream break, I remember talking about like the first few back, like, oh man, like it's so awesome to see y'all still here. As a content creator, it's like you can feel like you lose your fans if you don't stream for a minute. But you know what? It's been a new motto for the streams lately. Like, it's just about recording my journey through every painting. I just want to like turn on the camera, say my thoughts, paint, hang out, and like that's it. Like I don't think I ever crystallized my mission statement for my channel so good to me. It's like I was always trying to figure out how I want to do it, what I want to say, like how I want to make it, you know, all the prompts and everything. But to me, I'm just treating it like to me it feels very aligned with what I'm trying to do. That I just treat it like a video diary, like a video journal almost. Of course, like hanging out with y'all and responding and everything, but I mean, that's kind of what I say. That's kind of like what comes out of my mouth anyway. It's just like my thoughts. So I'm not trying to be like super educational or have everything planned that I'm saying, or plan everything I'm saying. I said that backwards. I'm just gonna kind of go with that vibe for now. I like how it feels. I've been lurking on and off throughout the last week. When I catch you watching the sketches, just haven't been able to chat with Park. Oh man, that's so awesome to hear. I'm so glad I'm still showing up. It's good to see you back. It's good to see you back too. It really is. And like, I think the main reason I stopped is because I lost like the reason why I'm doing it. I got so caught up in like feeling too much pressure to do it, and finding why I want to stream. It's really helped come back and just settle into it. Because I just want to be real. Like, I just want to like show you who I am, and at the same time create. I think there's plenty of educational channels out there and people pushing those types of content, and that's fine. Like, that's who's meant to do that. That's kind of like how I started playing with cameras to begin with. Like, if I was to go way back and like channel my inner camera, like vlog, it was like, it started with like vlogging. Like, I remember my dad would get mad at me because I'd play with this expensive camcorder and I'd just be walking around filming shit all day, and that kind of developed into like looking for things to film, and then it started out with comedy skits, like stupid cheesy, you know, and then I just kind of evolved from there. And it's just easy to get lost in the journey of the evolution of it all. How social media moves so fast, and trends, and who's uploading what, and blah blah. But like I was saying earlier, it's like the guy going to Mars on the spaceship for 2 years, and they like require him to just video log his thoughts 2 hours a day. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I like the way that feels. Just turn on the camera, hang out. And the other thing, like, being honest with you, it's like I don't have it in me to video edit it like wicked hard anymore. Like, I think I think it's okay to lose passion in things. I think things have a lifespan, and I think just for me, I lost a bit of passion in the video editing. I used to be into the art of video editing, the effects, like the timing. I still like animation for the very same reasons, but yeah, that's kind of where I am mentally, my personal journey. Like, I want to sustain my art and my improvement in it, but overall it feels good to just like live life and pay the bills, like come home, tell the people that are important to you you love them, you know? I'm 32, and I remember telling myself when I was 29, I was like, when I turn 30, like, I really just want to set myself into like a good habit of just painting and just like getting as many paintings out as I can. Just always trying to improve. And I feel like I'm doing alright so far. Just want to leave as many paintings as I can behind, while managing to pay the bills. Now I'm gonna take some of these dark greens. And like something feels more relaxing and nice and aligned with that than trying to like make it to the big times, you know, or whatever that is. There's so much pressure these days to perform so hard, especially on social media. And I think I just really want to be myself with this. Just like turn on the camera and do what feels good, you know? Be real with y'all. I always want to paint, but I can never motivate myself. To watch people is always motivating. Yeah, you know what? It's like, as a person that dedicates most of my life to like doing this, I still experience the very same thing. I have days where I can't motivate myself to paint, and then I watch other people painting and it makes me want to paint. So it's like I'm not immune to that by any means. I would say it happens to me just as much as someone that doesn't paint, or you know, takes it as their like calling. You know, I think there's a difference between like something you're interested in for a minute and then like your calling. And I think anyone knows what I mean when I say it like that. It's like this was me my whole childhood, being the weird kid, bringing a sketchbook to the party and sit, you know, sketching while everyone's talking. Like, when I'm really in touch with this, it's where I'm my most zen, my most relaxed. I feel aligned with my calling. But I don't feel like a professional video editor, you know? Like that stuff takes time. It really does. Especially if you want to make like a nice video. There's ways to just quickly edit and get, you know, upload, but quickly it's like it becomes lackluster. I think there was a golden age for those type of videos. But in the days of having to upload daily, I can't keep up. I sometimes feel like it's my calling because it's literally all I dream about, but I had to work as a kid and an adult and never had time to properly learn. So being bad also makes me unmotivated, but it's all I watch and think about how maybe art lover is all I need to be. You know what? The being bad or good thing, like, whether this sounds typical or not, like, just throw that out the window. Alright? Because, like, the thing is, like, I still feel bad all the time. And it's like, I know relatively I'm not because I practice so much that I've worked up to a point of being better than starting for the first time, right? Like, it's safe to say if you do 500 paintings, you're gonna be better than the first one you ever did. And that's just like math, right? So you have like the math side to it, but then like throw the good or bad thing out the window, because like if that ever stops you from painting, like just remind yourself of this, okay? The reason anyone paints, even if they don't realize it yet, is because it feels good to literally paint and go through the process. So like, it's not about how the painting comes out. Like, it is in one dimension, right? But I think in the true essence of what we're doing, the reason why anyone likes to create anything is because of how it feels while you're creating it. So it's like, just remind yourself to like forget about how the painting's gonna come out, and remind yourself how much you're gonna enjoy getting the water, filling it up, getting the paints out, you know, getting your palette ready, lighting a candle, put on some of your favorite music, whatever your vibe is. And like, I promise you that if you like always paint from there, like, it'll feel good. Like, that's something that gets me through every time. Like, I have no idea how this is gonna come out. Like, I've already made several errors that I know I'm gonna have to like fix at some point, and like, but through training myself again and again and again of like going through that mental battle, I've like trained myself into relaxing into the process. And like, I know you can do that too. If you just keep training yourself to remind yourself that you enjoy the painting part and not the result. It's almost like a mind game thing. You gotta fool yourself into enjoying it. But then when you do that enough, you end up just enjoying it naturally. I said bad, to be honest, because I only attended 4 times and I have hundreds of supplies waiting for me, but it's intimidating because I'm a perfectionist, so I'm not instantly good at something I flip. Yeah, it's very therapeutic. It's like your brain shuts off and you can just live in the process. Exactly. So like, the thing is, I'm a perfectionist too, and like, that's a quality, because being a perfectionist means that you have the determination to push through until something looks right. And there's times for that, you know? Like, for example, if I'm doing a commission for somebody, of course the pressure's a little bit higher to make sure that I am producing a good result. But if like you're at the point of like just not painting because you're scaring yourself out of it, like, it's better to just remind yourself how much you actually enjoy it. Cause like, think about it, right? You paint for 8 hours, and then the painting's done, and you lift it up in front of you, and you look at it for like 20 seconds to a minute tops, right? So like, if you look at that on a pie chart of like time spent, it's like the slivers that of like the end results, like so tiny, and then it's like, honestly, I want to move on to the next painting often enough, because like, the result of the painting isn't enough of a dopamine rush, because it's such a slow crawl towards it, right? So it's almost like the finished painting is minuscule compared to the whole experience of painting it. Like, I live for those little moments when I like lay that paint stroke down and like that part of the painting's done, you know? Like, and that, all those strung together add to an 8-hour painting experience. And like, it goes farther than that for me. Like, I'm super into it. I'm super nerdy. I like all the aspects to it. So like, I enjoy how it feels mixing paint. I like how it feels like setting up my supplies. It's kind of a ritual, honestly. Make it a ritual for yourself, like something. It's almost like a, like I'm thankful for streaming in a way, because it makes me sit down routinely to like have that ritual with myself. Even though it's like on camera, I'm like relaxed enough with it now to where I'm achieving like levels of relaxation I would have as if I'm painting by myself. I was gonna sit down and watercolor today, so maybe this combo is a sign to just do it and quit being a bum. You're not a bum. I get it though. Like I get where those thoughts come from. Yeah, the setup is the best. Oh yeah, I could set up for 2 hours, man. Get it all just right. Have my snack, you know. Make myself an iced coffee. I could think of 17 things that I do before I like sit down and really start to paint, you know what I mean? So yeah, get into it, because that's what it's all about, you know? And before you know it, like if that's the part about painting you get addicted to, the finished painting, like, it's something you're already ready to move on from. Like honestly, like by the time I'm done with a painting, I'm already ready for the next one. And some paintings, you know, like I have really fun with, and I don't want them to end, but at that point, you know, like if you're finding yourself saying like, I love this painting the way it's going so much, I don't want it to end, and then like you already won the battle. You're already painting it, you know, and that's a fun place to be with the painting. You have your palette mixed, you get the colors going, you know. You have the design going the way you want, you know. But there's so much more. Like remember, think about the pie chart, right? Finished painting versus all the trials and tribulations you go through during a painting, including the setup. You know, just convincing yourself to sit down and get into it. And you know what else? It's like, we convince ourselves a lot in society that everything we do must reap some sort of like financial reward or like some sort of gain in life, right? But like, I would argue that like we don't have to choose every bit of our actions through that medium. Like we don't have to like make sure everything we spend our time doing is going to like result in something that benefits us. Like I think it's better treading into like the unknown and just like following impulses sometimes and the things that pull you. Cause like it's like the voice in your head, right? You're sitting there, it's a random day, you want to paint suddenly, the impulse appears, you get that feeling, I should paint, oh I'm feeling it. And then like the brain steps in and it's like, oh yeah, but then I gotta do this, and I don't know what I want to paint, and no, you know, I don't want to get into it because I'd rather not have to like, you know, go do my errands after I'm done painting. I'd rather paint on a day off. And like before you know it, it's like you make up 17, 18 excuses, right? And it's like I find often if I just like follow that impulse and just paint, like I feel so much freaking better. Like it's like everything feels better in my life. Like I sleep better, I feel like better the next day if I can't paint because I'm actually busy. And then the other thing, I could go on about this because it's like it's my own ailment, trust me. Like making sure I'm staying painting and working on it is just as much of a curse of mine, believe it or not. The thing I get hooked up on a lot is I always convince myself that if I'm gonna paint, I need it to be this like extended session that can be extremely intimate, and like I get to like sit down with the painting and like really focus on it and like be the right temperature and have the candle lit and have my snack and my coffee, you know what I mean? It's like I'm always so attached to like that experience of painting that I forget it's just as rewarding to just sit down for 5 minutes. Literally just 5 minutes. Like if I have a super busy day and I'm tired and I'm feeling down and whatever, and like it's not the best day and like nothing's lining up to convince myself to paint, if I just sit down for 10 minutes and draw a few lines, it still makes me feel better. And I always have to remind myself that like even just like taking out the brush, just sitting down for a second, letting everything about the day go, anything my brain said that was like bad about painting, just like sit down and just do it. Like I always feel better. Always feel better. After all excuses, you miss out on so much life. Exactly, yeah. And then you end up, you realize you're sitting there on the couch for 25 minutes convincing yourself to not paint when you could have just already painted for 25 minutes. You know what I mean? And I've reached a point in my life where I'm doing much better with that. Talking myself out of those slums. Because I've reminded myself enough times, but like painting is enough of a joy. And sometimes I'll sit here like this, like I'm not even kidding, like yeah, the stream's more distracting, but sometimes I'll sit down without the stream on and I'm painting, and like I touch it a few times, I dip my brush, I put 2 strokes on it, and I walk away. Like literally. So you're talking even like 30 seconds to however long it takes me to get my paint wet. So, but that'll make me feel better. At the end of the day, if I can say I worked on it, that's what gives me sanity. So take that for what it is. I personally think it'll help any artist to just remind themselves they enjoy painting. Very true. I don't want to sit on my deathbed and wish I painted more, because I'm already doing that every day. I'm gonna try to push through. Yeah. I mean, you said it. Like, nothing else to say to that. Hands down. The older I get, the more that haunts me. I don't want to sit on my deathbed either and wish I could have painted more, so I'm not gonna lie to you, that very thing, like, I don't like to get that dark on stream, you know, but not that it's dark, it's just like, it's life. But like, I couldn't agree more. I resonate with that so much. I mean, I've done the math before. It's like a certain amount of thousands of paintings you can do. If you did one like every day so the day you died or something, which isn't realistic, right? So ultimately the human can only pump out so many within a lifespan. I always joke with my girlfriend, I say, oh, I need to find a vampire because I love painting so much. I just want to paint forever. I know that's cheesy, but it's really how I feel. I've been doing it since I was 3 years old. It's like I've been doing it so long, it feels like a part of me. I can't imagine my life without it. Like, literally can't picture it. So amen to that, Veronica. Sometimes on my worst days, I'll sit down and I'll just scribble. And if it's paint, I'll just literally like just fill a paper with a bunch of random paint stuff and shapes. I remembered I did a drawing challenge for myself where I was trying to do a drawing every day for a year. I didn't make it. I made it to like 145. Something happened where I had to travel and I couldn't do it. And I remember a few nights it was like 2 in the morning and I'd be like, oh shit, I forgot to do my drawing today. And just literally sitting down and like just scribbling. But yeah. Yeah, I understand, Liam. Well, speaking about that, you know, that's about all I have in me. Started late today. I have a new paint job. I've been working on a log cabin, staining it and whatnot. So during the weekdays, it was a little bit trickier for me to get home to stream in time. My goal today was to log more of my progress and say hello to you wonderful people and get a few more brush strokes on this. I think we can start to see how bright the mushrooms will look once we fill in the dark and the rest of this here. It's going to be fun to peel off the masking at some point and finish the geodes and the glowing rocks, but I have a feeling this painting is going to take a while. There's a lot to tweak about it and get the values right. Thanks for the stream. Thanks for hopping in, Veronica. I appreciate you still being around, and I really I feel good about staying consistent this time. And right now the schedule is Tuesday, Thursdays, and Saturdays, 5 to 7. You know, give or take an hour when I start or end. But I hope you have a wonderful night, and yeah, then thanks for stopping in. Always appreciate you, and everyone else as well. Stephanie. Steve, anyone else chilling in the chat, I hope you have a wonderful night. And what's today? Thursday. I will see you Saturday. Hopefully on time at 5 p.m. If not, if you're in the Discord, you'll know. That's where I send all my announcements for whether I'm starting or not, or if an interruption happens or disconnection. On top of that, if you're watching on YouTube, be a big help if you like and subscribe, because YouTube likes that over there. And have a great night. I love you all. Peace out.